Jesus as serpent. It's almost a jarring title, a shocking title, but it is Jesus, in fact, who likened himself to a serpent in this analogy. In John 3, the very famous chapter where Jesus speaks about being born again, he goes on to say in verses 14 and 15, he says, just as Moses lifted up the bronze serpent in the desert, in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up. And then in verse 15 he says, so that everyone who looks to him and believes will be saved. In Numbers chapter 21, the people in the wilderness, the rebellious people, impatient and grumbling against God, they were punished with venomous snakes. They were biting people, people were dying. They cried out to God, as we often do in that moment. They repented, they recognized their sin. What God instructed Moses to do was to make a bronze snake, to raise up the bronze snake, lift it up, and everyone who looked, everyone who had been bitten by a snake, looked at the bronze snake. If they looked, they would be healed and saved. Numbers 21:8. They would look at the snake and be healed. And in John 3:14-15, Jesus likens himself to this. He says, just as Moses lifted up the bronze snake, so everyone who believes, he said, the Son of Man will be lifted up and everyone who believes will be saved. We see so much in this, it's hard to even know where to start. One, Jesus likened himself to this snake. The animal that was a disgraceful animal, it was the killer. Then they made a bronze one, and then Jesus kind of likens himself to that disgrace in order to save us. And you know, in 2 Corinthians 5:21, we're told that Jesus became sin for us. In Galatians 3:13, we're told that Jesus became the curse for us so that we could go free. We're told that Jesus died outside of the camp where the carcasses of the sacrificial animals would be thrown. We're told that in Hebrews 13:12. Jesus died outside the camp in disgrace. So when Jesus said, like Moses lifting up the bronze snake, so the Son of Man will be lifted up, Jesus became nothing, Philippians 2:7, to reach us. He went down low. He became a curse. He became the sin. He became the serpent, as it were. But all we had to do, John 3:15, just like in Moses' time, Numbers 21:8, look to him and we'd be healed. Look and believe in Jesus Christ and we'd be healed. Jesus went so low in himself to make it a mere glance on our part, a heart that turns to him, and we would receive the life that he came to give us. We would be saved. So, you know, listen, believe on him. Lift your eyes to Christ. He became nothing so that when he was lifted up before the eyes of our heart, we would see him, we would look to him and be saved. Honor God by lifting your eyes to Jesus and being saved. That honors God. God bless you.